So we now know a lot of the new legends that will be coming to MLB The Show 22. So in today's video, we are going to go through all the confirmed new legends, and there's about 12, 13 of them. We're going to look at their hypothetical endgame card stats, and we're going to give them a grade similar to what you'd see in school. Let me know in the comments section what card you are most hyped for, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's hop it right into it, starting with Ryan Howard. All the attributes you are about to see were made by Ancient Nation, link to his Twitter will be down in the description, and then the card art varies, but I'm pretty sure a majority of it is by MLB The Show card art. Link to his Twitter will be in the description below. But we got a 99 overall MVP Ryan Howard. This year he's slugged like 50 something home runs, so you know he's gonna have insane power. He hit for a decent enough average, and while first base is a very heavily populated position with some sluggers, this Ryan Howard is definitely up there. 122 contact rate, 194 versus left, maxed out power versus righties, and 117 power versus lefties. He maxes out, especially parallel, maxes out versus right-handed pitching, and versus lefties, he's not that bad. I'm excited to see what his swing's gonna be like. Defense, it's irrelevant. Vision, 81, that's good enough. Ryan Howard is very similar to Prince Fielder last year, I believe, in the way I think the attribute should look and the way that I'm hyped about this card. So I give Ryan Howard overall an A-. Next up, we got Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer's a cool legend. You know the kind of card he's gonna get. He had an MVP season where he slugged 28 home runs, hit like 365, had an incredible year, and that's the representation we have here. Maxed out contact versus righties, 115 versus lefties. Power's a little bit lower at 102 versus right and 84 versus left-handed pitching, but he's got insane vision at 107. Very good discipline, did not strike out a lot, and the defense is better than I thought it'd be at a 91. If we got Joe Mauer like this, I think he'd be very damn good, especially if I remember correctly. He had a pretty glitchy swing in MLB history. He was one of those 99 cards that everybody went after, similar to Carlos Beltran back in the day, because his swing was so good. If his swing's similar to what it was, and his stats look like this, Joe Mauer is going to be a damn good legend, especially considering we do not get a lot of good catching legends. That's why everybody uses Jimmy Fox at catcher. I like him more than Ryan Howard. I give this card an A. Next up, we got Randy Johnson. Randy was the big time reveal today in the Legends trailer. If you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to do that. He was in the first Legend trailer, then they took him out, so a lot of people are freaking out thinking, is he gonna be in the game? Nobody knew. We finally got confirmation. He will be in MLB The Show 22. And when I keep saying this is the most hyped legend we have gotten in recent memory, he is definitely up there with like the Babe Ruth. Especially if his stats look like this: 120 stamina, 121 hits per 9, 125 K per 9, 92 walks per 9, 99 home runs per 9, 117 pitching clutch, 96 velo, 99 break. It's a lot of upper 90s, 100 plus stats. His pitch repertoire includes a fastball, slider, curveball, sinker, changeup. Great 5-pitch repertoire. He's got one of the best sliders of all time. He's one of the best strikeout pitchers of all time. Fastball, I could see being a little bit higher. I mean, his fastball killed a freaking bird, for God's sake. If this guy has outlier and has a Chris Sale-esque windup, like I think he will, he's going to be hard to hit. He is going to be the best pitcher in the game. I give this an A++. Double pluses. That's how freaking good this card's going to be. So a legend we are just finding out about. They didn't show him in any of the reveals. They didn't show him in the Legend trailer. They just showed him on this graphic. Is Ray Durham. Such a random ass legend, man. Inch made this best version of him a 94 overall. Makes sense. He didn't really have a great career. It was okay. That's why it surprises me. He's a legend coming to the game. Even as prime, it wasn't anything like crazy. He was never one of the best hitters. He was never one of the best players on his home team. But 107 contact right, 93 versus lefties, 72 power versus right, 69 very nice power versus left-handed pitching, 96 clutch, 99 bunt, 99 drag bunt, and 97 speed. That boy's got wheels. People are gonna bunchies all day with this card. He could be a pretty fun event guy, but other than that, in terms of a new legend coming to the game, I'm not overly hyped. I give this a D. Moving on, we got Kirk Gibson. Kirk Gibson's just one of those cards for whatever reason I'm not too hyped on. He has one of the most iconic home runs in MLB history. He's won an MVP, yet I just don't think he's going to be that good. We get 10 million amazing outfielders every year. There's nothing about this guy that's going to stick out. I don't think he's going to get a 99 overall card. Neither does Ainge. 96 overall. His stats on this card look pretty decent. 94, 97, 87, 104. Fielding and speed are nothing to write home about. Just for me, for the legend reveals, I want these big name players. They can show these guys similar to what they did in Ray Durham and shit like that. Just release them. You don't need to announce them. Just release them. And like I said, for whatever reason, I'm not too hyped about this card. The only way that he will be usable is if he comes out extremely early in the game cycle. Like I'm talking end of April, early May for him to even be a playable card, because by then we'll already have some really good outfielders, especially when a lot of people have the Live Series collection probably already done. So for this, I'm gonna give it another D. I'm just not too excited about it. This one, for whatever reason, I am excited about, and that's D-Train. This man has been asking to be in MLB The Show for decades. He's been begging. He's been getting on his knees just begging SDS to put him in the game. He finally gets his wish. 99 overall card. I don't know if I go that far. He did have some good seasons. He did get a 21 season. I think he finished like 3rd in Cy Young voting that year. He also won a Rookie of the Year. So his prime was really damn good. But after a very short-lived prime, like 3-4 years, he was downright horrible. Injuries played a large part with that. But Dontrelle Willis, big leg kick and all, you can see it in the image. Just funky delivery. Nasty changeup. He has a 5-pitch mix with fastball, slider, changeup, cutter, and a curveball, like the pitch mix. Stats wise are pretty good too. 113 stamina, 108 hits per 9, 91 Ks per 9, 88 walks per 9, 99 home runs per 9, 107 pitching clutch, 89 velo, 98 break. Didn't throw very hard. He beat a lot of hitters with deception with his delivery and then a lot of movement on his pitches. If his card looks like that, I think he'll be pretty good. I'm gonna give it a B-. Why they didn't tease this guy, I will never know, because I think he is super hyped. They gave him the Ray Durham effect. Somebody low down the totem pole that they don't even announce it. They just put him in the goddamn game expecting us not to notice, and that's Mike Napoli. Mike Napoli was very similar to the way Mike Zunino is now, at least towards the end of his career. Big time power seasons, but hit for such an abysmally low batting average. But just to give you a look at how good he was in his prime, he hit 20 home runs in was the 6 straight seasons, including 30 home runs in 2011. He also hit 320 that year from the catcher position. His second to last year in 2016 hit 34 home runs, 101 RBIs, 239 batting average with 335 on base percentage. He had a career OPS of 821 from the catcher position. I think these stats are very similar to the way a Mike Napoli could look. 114 contact right, 112 contact left, 110 power right, 113 power left. And he's another one of those players who were just god tier in MLB The Show history, so I expect him to be really good as well. He was a terrible defender, so 66 fielding, it's pretty accurate. I think he's right up there in terms of top tier catchers with Joe Mauer and Mike Piazza, just because he's going to hit, and he's got a really nice right-handed swing. So if you're willing to sacrifice the defense by putting Jimmy Fox at catcher, I don't see why you can't do the same with Mike Napoli at catcher. I think he's right up there with Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer is going to have the better contact in the defense. Mike Napoli is going to have the big-time power bat. Both are going to have really glitchy swings and bring some value to the catcher position. I'm going to give Mike Napoli a B+. Next up, we got the Uke and Kevin Youkilis. They did this a lot this year by releasing some underwhelming legends as legend reveals, trying to get people hyped up for the game that you could have just let out, and to be honest, people probably wouldn't even really care that much. And I only say this because, similar to Kirk Gibson, for Kevin Youkilis to be usable because he's at such a valuable position where there's so many good cards, he has to come out extremely early. Kevin Youkilis is not a 99 overall player. I think a 97 rating is very fair. I think his stats are very rare. Hit for high averages, had a few decent power seasons, play good defense, but he plays first base. Frank Thomas is one of the statistically worst defenders of all time, and he's a goddamn brick wall over at first base. He can play third, but he has a noodle arm, so I don't recommend that. I just see no real value in Kevin Youkilis. There's probably 20 plus first basemen that are better than him, so for him to be usable for even a week, this card has come out in like April. But still, cool name. Hopefully they get his swing right. He had a very, very weird historic Craig Counsell-esque swing. I'll give it a C-. Next up, we got the Moose, Mike Mussina. I think this card could actually be really good. Mike Mussina is a borderline Hall of Famer. 5-pitch mix with a fastball, cutter, slider, knuckle curve, and a changeup. Love the pitch repertoire. Throws okay, about average velocity. Stats are pretty solid. 114 stamina, 104 hits per 9, 113 Ks per 9, 88 walks, 90 home runs, 113 pitch and clutch, 87 control, 90 velo, 99 break, and he fields his position very well. Mike Mussina is going to be one of those guys though, if you know how to pitch, if you know how to tunnel pitches and just get hitters guessing up there, he's going to be effective with that repertoire. A lot of horizontal movement, a lot of vertical movement. You have a lot of options to throw people off. If you can command his pitches well and tunnel all of them, I think he'll be pretty good. So for that, I'm going to give this a B+. I actually do like Mike Mussina being in the game. Even though he's not going to be one of the top end game pitchers, he's still going to be very effective for a while. Now we have Brian Wilson, beard and all. Prime Brian Wilson was one of the best relief pitchers in the game. He didn't give up a single run in the postseason ever, which is insane considering he was part of multiple World Series runs. He has a 4-pitch mix on this card with a fastball, curveball, cutter, and sinker. Love the repertoire for a reliever. 103 hits per 9, 125 Ks per 9, good home runs per 9, good pitching clutch obviously, 97 velo, and 99 break. Brian Wilson could be a really good card. It's something we don't talk about enough, is we don't get enough love for the back of the bullpen. We get a handful of really good relievers in the game, but Brian Wilson's definitely a card that could be endgame, and I think a 96 overall card, I could see them bumping it up even higher. I don't know if it'll be a 99 overall, but I'm telling you, Brian Wilson in his prime was one of the best relief pitchers, I'll say, of all time. Especially if you give him a postseason card or something along those lines. It's not something that's going to get people super hyped, but by the time he does get released, it's going to be a card that a lot of people use, just because we don't have a ton of insane bullpen arms, so I'm gonna give this a B. Down to our final two new legends, we got J.R. Richard. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, when I saw this in the legend trailer, I didn't know a ton about him. He pitched in the 70s. I wasn't even a thought at that point, but he did have a very good prime. He threw 100 miles per hour in the 70s, which is unheard of. So if his card looks anything like this, he is going to be one of the best starting pitchers in the game. Similar to Nolan Ryan with a better pitch mix. Fastball that can reach triple digits. He has a curveball, a slider, a sinker, and a changeup. I love the pitch repertoire. 116 stamina. He threw 16 complete games in his best season. 113 hits per 9, 125 Ks per 9. He is a strikeout machine. 78 walks per 9. Struggles with control a little bit. Like I said, similar to Nolan Ryan. 92 home runs per 9, 106 pitch and clutch, 79 control, 99 velo, and 99 break. On top of the pitch repertoire being amazing and his stats just looking nuts, he's also gonna get outlier. So this is going to be a damn good card, 100% an endgame pitcher. I give this an A+. Like I said, I didn't know a lot about him when I saw the trailer. After looking at his stats in a hypothetical card that we could get, if his card's very similar to this, 100% the second best legend that got revealed right next to Randy Johnson. And last up, we got Jared Weaver. I do not remember Jared Weaver throwing a no-hitter just because it happened 10 years ago, but apparently he did, so a no-hitter card is obviously going to be pretty damn good. He's got a fastball that reaches very low 90s, slider, sinker, changeup, curveball, solid pitch repertoire, just doesn't throw very hard, but 120 stamina, 125 hits per 9, 93 Ks per 9, 89 walks per 9, 99 home runs per 9, 107 pitch and clutch, 99 break, 73 velo, very low. I'm gonna give this card a B-. He does get a no-hitter card. The hits per 9, that's gonna be amazing. He just doesn't throw very hard though. That's only if he gets a no-hitter card. He might not get that, so we could have low hundreds in hits per 9, which is still very good. but with the velocity, he's not nearly going to be as effective. He's another really random legend, had a few very good years. I don't know if I consider him a legend. Well, there you have it, boys. Those are all the new legends that we know about right now for MLB The Show 22. When the game releases, though, they always have a handful of legends that have not been announced that they end up just dropping randomly. Vinny Castillo last year. Jason Bay was a Legend Program reward last year. So we still could see a couple new legends. Overall, I don't think this legend list is as hype as it was last year, but it's still a pretty cool list nonetheless. I actually really like this. Randy Johnson saved it 100%. We got a big time legend coming to the game, which we really needed. More value at the catcher position with Joe Mauer and Mike Napoli. Ryan Howard's just a big time bat. An old school legend that I think a lot of people will fall in love with in J.R. Richards. And then a lot of really random legends like Dontrelle Willis, Kevin Youkilis, Jared Weaver. That could still be very solid. But those are my grades. Let me know what you think in the comment section. What is the legend you are most hyped for in MLB The Show 22? And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.